Hi, everyone. So, we are going to be working on a project, and it's really just going to let you get creative using the different parts of medical terms. So, the roots, the suffixes, and the prefixes to create kind of your own medical condition. So, underneath today's date, Tuesday, April 28th, here you see a bunch of different stuff. So, I'm just going to walk you through each one. And the first one is, what really is this project? And then you are going to be working in groups. So I'll show you how you can sign up for your groups. And then the assignment. Okay. And then I have a nice little example for you. So let's talk about signing up for groups. Okay. So for this project, I have this group sheet here. Okay. You can work individually, you can work in partners, you can work in groups of three. Okay. So um, that's kind of the dividers that you can work with. Um, I put everybody's name in here. Okay, so I just ask that once you have put yourself in a group, that you just cross your name off. So that way it's easy for me just to go, oh, these five people still don't have groups by the end of the day. Okay, so if you're in a group, it's just go ahead and record. So maybe, if I was doing this, it'd be like Mrs. Hardy, Mrs. Yankee, and we're just going to work together. Okay, maybe Caleb and Danica and Sam are going to work together. So you just put your names in there. If you're a group of two, then obviously it'll just be two spots filled up. And if you're a group of three, it'll be all three. If you want to work individually, you can absolutely do that. Just pop your name down here for me. Okay. And again, you guys, once you have recorded your name, please don't forget to just cross yourself off here. Okay. So that's how we're going to work with group sign up sheet. By the end of the day, Tuesday, so right away Wednesday morning, I will look at this and see who does not have a group. And I'm just going to assume if you did not sign up, you're going to work by yourself. Okay. So there's our class list. Let me know if you have any questions there. So again, you can find this under number 2, action, sign up for groups. So let's talk about what the assignment really is. So this assignment project, again, like I said, you're going to be creating a medical term to really just get comfortable kind of combining some medical word parts. And then we're just going to get creative with it. So my corny little story here is that you all have you've earned your medical degree, so congratulations, and you've just landed a very, very prestigious residency position at Johns Hopkins Hospital, which is actually the fourth ranked best hospital in the US. You have been specially selected and extended an invitation to work on a research team that has found a new medical condition or disease. And they are so impressed with you that they want you to present this condition to the hospital board of directors. And so here are your expectations for that presentation. So this is what you will be presenting to this hospital board of directors. So, for example, first thing is your medical condition name. So you're going to go back in your notes from last week and you're going to look at the roots, the prefixes, the suffixes, and you're going to play around and combine those to come up with some sort of medical condition. Okay. And that's where you get the medical name. Okay. So it has to use at least 4 medical word parts. Okay. So, that could look like one word with 2 different roots in there. Um, it could be 2 different words, 2 medical terms that kind of work together to come up with a disease. Okay. But remember, you always have to have a suffix. You do not have to have a prefix. And then, just like you practiced yesterday, I'm going to ask you guys to break down each part of the word and explain what it means. Okay. And again, I'll show you an example. A lot of the times, the medical names are very technical, as we found out. And so diseases often have like an eponym name or a nickname. Okay, so for example, an eponym is a person after whom a discovery is named after. So, for example, like Lou Gehrig's disease. Okay, the technical term is not Lou Gehrig's disease, but that's what it's called. Okay, Alzheimer's. Okay, not the technical term, but we know it as Alzheimer's. So you're gonna have the technical medical name. So the technical terminology, and then you're going to come up with a nickname or an eponym name. Okay, and again, I'll show you guys all an example. Once you've kind of done that, now you're really gonna, this is all really just you guys being creative. Um, and you're really just going to build the backstory of this condition. So you're going to discover this condition and then really just play on it and figure out, what the pathology. So, how do you even get this disease? So, you created this condition. How do you get it? Okay. Body effects. We've talked about the body system. So, if you get this disease, which body system is going to be affected and what part is going to be affected? How is it going to be affected? Condition audience. So, your disease might just affect people who live in Wisconsin. Your disease might just, be for females or for males, or maybe a certain age range, or maybe it's people who do a certain activity. Again, creativity, you can be as creative as you want for the condition audience. Okay. Um, so, prognosis. So, that pretty much just means how does this condition affect the individual's everyday life? So, in the short term, how is their life going to be different? In the long term, how is their life going to be different? What are the disabilities? Or maybe, yeah, we call it a disease, but maybe they get some sort of advantage from it. Who knows? Diagnosis. How will the patient know that they have been diagnosed with this? So, what are those symptoms that they're going to be presenting with, okay, to say, yep, you definitely have this, okay? And that's where you'll kind of explain that in the prognosis too, that they would have these symptoms. Excuse me. Treatment, okay? There has to be a treatment. Your patients cannot all die from these mysterious diseases. So, what is the treatment, okay? Um, is it as simple as, they have to take an antibiotic and then they'll be cured? Do they have to have a surgery? Do they have to avoid doing some activity for the rest of their life? Again, be as creative as you want, you guys. So, presentation format is going to be Google Slides, and really just, I mean, making sure everything is very crystal clear and they're really explaining all of these. Um, some of them, I would assume most of them you'd probably put on a separate slide, but in my example, I'm going to show you, like, I have pathology and body effects together, but I explain them thoroughly. Okay. So, work days. You have today, okay, so Tuesday, April 28th, you have Wednesday, and you have Thursday. Okay, so you have 3 days to do this to kind of get together if you're working in groups virtually over Google Meets and work together. And really, 30 minutes a day, you should not have a problem finishing. And then this is due Thursday, April 30th at midnight. Okay. You guys, these conditions can be funny, they can be serious. As to how they were discovered or really what they entail, I just ask that they are appropriate for school. Okay. So, to get your creative juices flowing, I have my example that I'm going to share that I made up. And then I'm going to head into school later today and pull some of the ones that I've really enjoyed from past semesters. And I'll do another example video tomorrow for you. So, here is my example for you. Go ahead and present this, and don't laugh at me. Mine's like, it's I think funny in how people come to get it, but like it's not like super serious or super funny. So it's kind of a middle of the line. So this is mine. Hyperthermia monoacoustitis. Okay, so you can see that I have definitely four different word parts in there between root words, prefixes, and suffixes. And I did that in a way where I just have a 2-word phrase. Okay, but you can do it in one long big word. That's fine. So when you explain the medical name, okay, this is what you saw on Monday, where I wanted you to break it down and then do a rough explanation. So here's how I broke each part down. So the first one, hyperthermia. Hyper means over, therm is temperature or relating to heat, and then the suffix ia is a disease condition. So my first word means that it's a condition of overheating. Monoacoustitis, mono means one, acoust is that root word, relates back to the ear, itis is inflammation, okay? So what does this mean? Well, it means that we have overheating and inflammation in one ear, okay? So that's kind of what you get by decoding and by dissecting my medical terms there. Okay, so here's my eponym name. My eponym name is Beats Ear. So we know that one ear is overheating. And so here's kind of where this is coming from. So this medical term also goes by the common name Beats Ear. Beats by Dre is a leading audio brand that was founded in 2006 by Dr. Dre, who is an American rapper, producer, and entrepreneur. Specializing in headphones, earphones, and speakers, Beats products have swept over the nation, consuming many children's ears to hear the energy, excitement, and passion in their music today. Their headphones' unique feature is having an audio cable on only one side. So I explain why I call it Beats ear. Okay, and so I kind of tie that in with, oh, the only on the one side. I know my condition has one ear that's being affected. Okay, so it can kind of start to show you where I'm going to go with this. So I really explain where this comes from and why I named it this. So my pathology and body systems. Okay, so my pathology, and again, this is why does this condition happen? That's what pathology means. Okay, so the audio cord jack is only present on one side of these ever popular headphones. This condition is being seen in the ear that the user is choosing to wear the electrical cord side on. This ear is showing signs of inflammation from the extra stress and heat that it is being received from the close power supply and extra weight of the audio cord. So I tell you exactly why. What is causing my disease? What is causing this? It is the extra stress and heat that it's getting from the one side the user is being weared on because of the audio cord. So what's the big deal? Why does it matter that this ear is affected? Okay, so body system, then taking it back to the body system. So this condition will affect the nervous system because the ears are part of the nervous system. They're responsible for interpreting and sending sound signals to your brain, which then causes you to have an appropriate reaction. If this is left untreated, the user may find themselves having a hard time hearing their friends, music, and parents, and even in severe cases, this can lead to deafness in the ear. So definitely affecting that body system. And I explain how. Okay, I don't just say it's the nervous system. Okay, so tell me a little bit more then. So my condition audience, this condition affects anyone who wears these headphones for more than 3 hours each day. The typical person who is diagnosed with this is of the ages between 13 and 27, and this condition is being seen all over the world. Okay, so mine's pretty broad, really. Their unique factor is wearing these headphones for more than 3 hours each day, and they all tend to be within that typical age range. Okay. All right, so prognosis. So what's going to happen to these people? What symptoms are they going to be feeling, if they think they might have Beats ear? So I kind of broke it down into stages. You don't have to. I just thought it was kind of fun. So if caught quickly, this condition is not too serious, but it can lead to complete deafness. So stage 1, in the short term, it's honestly just kind of annoying. Like users will notice their ear is overheating. Maybe it's sensitive to the touch. It might look a little swollen, okay? But nothing like too severe, right? Stage 2, so as this progresses, the individual may notice a constant ringing in their ear along with all of the symptoms in stage 1. After 2 weeks of being left untreated, users will notice their hearing be impaired in the ear, which could lead to a frustration in your life when your friends, parents, and teachers are hard to hear. So stage 2, if stage 2 is not addressed, then you can move into stage 3 with this disease, and that is if it's still left untreated, it will progress to total hearing loss in your ear after 1 month of the symptoms beginning. So that is the prognosis, that's the symptoms, that's really what the patient is going to see and have to live with and go through. So how does someone come to have a diagnosis like this? Okay, so most people who have been diagnosed come into the clinic at around stage 2 of the disease, which is the ear ringing, because we can kind of deal with a swollen ear, but like a constant ringing in your ear would be kind of annoying. So people tend to notice that and go in. So an official diagnosis is made then when the ear is examined. It's observed as swollen and very hot. But the key here is confirming and asking the patients, if they wear the Beats headphones for more than 3 hours a day. And if they say yes and they have the other symptoms, then it is confirmed that they have Beats ear. But they can get a treatment. So depending on what stage they are in, their treatment kind of varies. So stage 1, pretty simple. At that point, we've caught it pretty early, and treatment is just limited to the use of wearing the headphones to less than 2 hours a day. And the doctor will also recommend that you should switch off which ear has the audio cord. So that way one ear is not taking all the stress from that. If this is followed, the condition will not progress, and you'll be back to normal. Stage 2. So stage 2, now we have a nice little infection and we want to treat it with an antibiotic. While you're on the antibiotic, the patient cannot wear the headphones at all to give the ear the chance to heal. Once the ear is healed, then they are recommended to, for the rest of their life, follow stage 1 treatment. Stage 3, unfortunately, at this point, there's nothing we can do for them. The user is left with permanent deafness in the affected ear. So that's pretty sad, and I don't want to see these patients get to stage 3. So that's it, you guys. That's all about Beats ear, and that's my little example. I'll go back here. Hypothermia monoacoustis. A lot of it is I want you to be able to have fun playing around and mixing and mashing up some of these medical terms, and then just to kind of let yourself get a little creative and come up with a fun little medical condition. So like I said, tomorrow I will show you guys another example, or probably a couple. I have some really good ones at school just to get your creative juices flowing. But what I did here in the assignment creative medical term is in my description here. Okay, I kind of have it broken down how I would recommend you to work on this each day. So today I would probably figure out what your medical condition is, create that medical term, and start definitely to brainstorm the eponym or the nickname. Wednesday, I would look at how the disease occurs and complete the pathology, body effects, and condition audience. And then on Thursday is all about the cure. So what's their prognosis? What's the diagnostic? And then what's the treatment? And then go ahead and get that turned